Unlike most birds, shoebill parents regularly carry water to their nest and take turns cooling their eggs. It is a rare adaptation that helps their offspring survive the extreme heat of the African wetlands.
In the vast African wetlands, there lives a bird that looks less like a modern animal and more like a surviving dinosaur. Standing nearly as tall as a human child, the shoebill possesses one of the most extraordinary beaks in the animal kingdom. Its massive shoe-shaped bill is not just a strange ornament, it is a deadly weapon designed for ambush hunting. For hours, the giant bird stands perfectly motionless among the reeds. The surrounding swamp appears silent and lifeless. Beneath the dark water, however, a large lungfish slowly approaches the surface. The shoebill's eyes lock on to its target. Without warning, the bird explodes into action. Water erupts in every direction as the enormous bill crashes into the swamp. The struggling fish disappears down its throat. For the shoebill, patience is the key to survival. Across the African wetlands of Uganda, South Sudan, and Zambia, the breeding season is beginning. A mature male shoebill patrols his territory. His deep gray feathers blend perfectly with the surrounding marsh. Every movement is slow and deliberate. Nearby, a female shoebill watches from a patch of papyrus reeds. The male approaches cautiously. Rather than singing beautiful songs, he begins clattering his enormous bill. The loud rattling echoes across the pair slowly circle one another. A new partnership is forming. For these birds, finding the right mate is essential. Together, they begin searching for a nesting site. The chosen location must remain safe from predators and seasonal flooding. After several days, they settle on a dense floating platform of vegetation. The pair starts gathering reeds and aquatic plants. Each trip adds another layer to the growing nest. Gradually, a huge circular platform emerges above the water. The nest is nearly 2 meters wide. It will become the center of their world for the coming months. Soon, the female lays her first egg. A second egg follows shortly afterward. Sometimes a share incubation duties. The African sun can become dangerously hot. To protect the developing embryos, the adults perform an unusual behavior. Using their giant bills, they collect water from the swamp. They carefully pour the water over the eggs. The cooling bath prevents overheating. Day after day, the parents remain vigilant. Monitor lizards occasionally approach the nest. Large snakes patrol the wetlands. Even crocodiles may pose a threat. The shoebills aggressively defend their territory. Weeks pass beneath the blazing African sky. Inside the eggs, tiny chicks continue developing. At last, faint cracks appear on the shell surfaces. The first chick struggles into the world. Covered in soft gray down, it is helpless and vulnerable. Soon a second chick emerges. The nest suddenly becomes a place of constant activity. The parents increase their hunting efforts. Every day they bring fish back to the hungry chicks. Lungfish are among the most valuable prey. Catfish are also important food sources. The growing chicks consume astonishing amounts of food. As the weeks pass, a harsh reality begins to emerge. Not all chicks will survive. Competition between siblings intensifies. The stronger chick often dominates feeding opportunities. The weaker chick gradually falls behind. This natural rivalry is common among shoebills. In many nests, only one chick ultimately reaches adulthood. The surviving chick becomes the focus of parental care. Its body grows rapidly. Soft down feathers begin giving way to juvenile plumage. The enormous beak starts developing. Every day brings new challenges. The young bird practices standing for longer periods. It learns to balance on the unstable nest platform. Strong storms occasionally sweep across the marsh. Heavy rain pounds the vegetation. Powerful winds shake the nest. Yet the young shoebill endures. Months after hatching, it begins exercising its wings. Awkward flapping soon becomes stronger and more controlled. It becomes increasingly independent. The bond with its parents begins to weaken. Eventually, the young bird leaves to establish its own territory. Alone among the endless wetlands, it starts a new life. Years will pass before it seeks a mate of its own. The cycle that began long ago will continue once more. Across Africa's remote marshlands, the shoebill remains one of nature's most remarkable survivors. A giant hunter shaped by patience, a bird that seems frozen in prehistoric time, and a living reminder that some of Earth's greatest wonders still endure in the wild.